let's just kind of get straight into this while Poet's not here. So just for clarity, yeah, we being me and Poet, we had a conversation. It was episode 104, yeah, and in that conversation, we talked about the time Krept Konan released Whoa Whoa Whoa, and in and amongst that conversation, I had brought up that. Firstly, I brought up the comments was a bit sour. And then I brought up that people had mentioned that there was like a Americanized kind of vibe going on. Yeah. So we had a conversation about that. Now, obviously, put that on the YouTube, as we've got the YouTube now, and the title was "Are Krept Konan Americanized?" Yeah. Then Poet's come back to the podcast now a week later and said, "Rah, Konan thinks that you don't like him." Then I've said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, like I've had them man on the phone. They're vexed." You don't like him. Yeah, he said that he thinks that that I don't rate you.
You don't rate this whole movement here.
You think so, yeah?
Yeah.
Why? Okay, explain to me why you think that.
Nah, you know it is. It's not even like, obviously you make music, people are meant to talk about music, innit?
Yeah, and put that a little bit closer to you still.
Oh shit.
Just a little bit.
Obviously people, you're meant to talk about music. That's what you put out music for. People obviously analyze it, whatever. People's got opinions. Some people think this, some people think that, whatever. That's not the issue, fam. Like I'm all for people do reviews of your music all the time. Say I don't like that.
You know what it was, yeah.
Now you liven up now. He's livened up now.
You know what it was, yeah.
It was the title.
Okay.
You know, the title said "Are Krept Konan," like as a whole.
But
like,
it wasn't
after
even,
everything,
like,
man's
you know
done.
what it is. People brought it to my attention because like I didn't see it initially at the start. You get me?
Yeah.
I think Krept brought it to my attention, and then someone else brought it to my attention.
What's that? What are you talking about? The podcast or just
the title?
the title?
Okay. Like the podcast in general. Someone goes to me like, "Right, what's these lot's problem? Why are they on you like that?" I was like, "What?" So obviously I've gone and watched it. You get me?
Yeah.
And then certain little things that people you were saying. I just
like
thought,
what though?
It was a bit like it was a negative. It was a
think
negative spin. It wasn't. It was like a, you know, when you think something, yeah, but you don't directly say it. You make you influence other people to have that opinion as well, and that's how it came across.
Okay.
So it's like you see
Krept
blogs do
Konan,
it. You see academics do it all the time. Like he'll put up a picture that he knows or a video of a song that he knows is a bit not good, and he'll write fire or shit. And then people, you know, like with your ears, if this is good or not. But people will be rinsing in the comments. So he's influencing people to have an opinion. You get me? He's leading them on. So that's what I felt like he was doing. He was leading them in that direction of them thinking, yeah, hold on, them men are Americanized, you know, like, cause you gotta remember, yeah, in this world that we live in, people don't really think for themselves. Do you understand? Everything's influenced, as you can see by the Instagram. All the girls look the same. All that, like, things are very influenced. People don't know what to do with themselves anymore, so they need people to kind of influence them for an opinion. So I feel like us in our position that we're in, like you, Poet, us rappers, everyone, we influence the general public and our culture, innit? So if you put an idea out there, that idea is going to manifest and people are going to jump on it whether they thought that or not. And I feel like that's what it came across as. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't feel, for me personally, I don't feel that I put an idea out there though. I think that like in the
you
highlighted an idea.
You did. The title didn't say, "Do you think Krept Konan Whoa 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 is too Americanized?" Okay. If you said that, I wouldn't even.
Would it have been different?
Yeah, I wouldn't care. Like, because people, because you could say, "Oh yeah, it sounds American," or "It's Americanized," or whatever. Do you understand? Like, bro, like if you've heard man's mixtape, you will hear that there's bare different kind of vibes on.
No, but that's not even the point with me. It's like you didn't put up, "Oh, it's for me Caribbeanized," or you didn't address that.
Yeah, but then isn't that a bit different?
You've used our name, Krept Konan, after we put out "For Me," which is a Caribbean vibe. Yeah, and then you if Whoa 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 sound. You've then said Krept Konan to Americanized, even though we just done a Caribbean tune and a tune that might.
But you're Caribbean though.
Yeah, I know. But so then why would you say Krept Konan to Americanized off of one song?
No,
and you haven't even heard the mixtape yet.
Yeah, no, wait. But firstly, I'm just having the conversation. I'm just asking. Wait, I'm just asking the question. But the reason why you can't, I don't think that you can use the comparable of whether you are more Caribbeanized or not, Caribbeanized or whatever, is because you are Caribbean.
But my point
so then that wouldn't be
stands
wouldn't be a conversation.
I hear you, but man's point
And
is
you're-
rap is from America.
Yeah, of course.
Hip hop is from America. So if you make a hip hop song, we're all influenced by them in any way, because that's the music that we actually make is from them, and they're from dancehall. So it's all influential. You get what I understand? And we're doing trap. So if it sounds like something you would hear them lot do, then I feel like man's hitting the nail on the head, because that's the music we're actually
100%.
making. Do you understand?
But just understand, even on that, if me and you sat down again and had a breakfast with Chucky or whatever, that's a thing I would bring up. I would ask that. I would ask that. We would have the conversation about it. We will have the conversation about it.
That's not.
But
me personally,
yeah,
that isn't my problem. Is not you saying.
The problem is the title.
This is what this is saying. My problem is you've taken a song that you might feel, or fans might say, oh yeah, this is a bit American, whatever. But you've branded Krept Konan after all the fucking tunes that man's done.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
said, oh,
because it's just,
and you haven't even heard our mixtape.
Yeah, I know, but
that's
okay,
what's
all
even
right.
more.
All right, okay. I understand why the. Do you know what? I understand why the lines would have been blurred in that, because obviously.
And then the next song that we released was a grime tune.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
And then
so
so
instead of us putting whoa, you're annoyed that we just put Krept Konan. Okay,
I feel like the whole conversation jarred me a bit. I can't lie to you. It jarred me, because then at the same time, you said a comment like, "Oh yeah, this is just general. Don't all the hard work we've done as a scene. Basically, don't do what we did." Basically,
no.
Like
okay,
that.
All right.
But how you taken that? And then, if you noticed, I tweeted, when you have a discussion about us, make sure you know your stuff.
Yeah, when I saw that, I said, hold on a minute,
because you said, all the steps we've done as a scene, and I'm like, so you're just gonna turn a blind eye to what we used to, like, because for people that don't know Krept Konan, and that's just tuning in now, they don't know that like man's one of if not one of the first to build the bridge. Do you understand? Obviously, there's a big gas right now going on. Obviously, Drake's come over, he's messed with a couple man. Do you understand? And people might think that's the start of how this whole American bridge has started. And we're one of the builders of this bridge.
Of course.
So for you to make that comment, are you Americanized, and then saying to the new up and coming artists,
we've done all of
music
this. You lot are
basically
coming and fucking it up, basically.
Yeah, basically that's what it came across as.
Man was the ones like,
on Diddy's roof with French and Chinks and Def Jam.
Let me just wait,
brother. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time was one of the tunes that really triggered this. They're really doing this thing in the UK, innit? Bro, like,
because if you go there now, they will still say it to you. They will say, you go there now, say, what UK music do you know? And they will say, don't waste my time. Oh, don't waste my time. I had someone there the other day that didn't even know who done it. They just know the song. It's in Creed, whatever. But that's one of the first songs that I feel like came from this country that actually they messed with, they rocked with. Do you understand? Facts.
Yeah.
I don't want to, it sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, but facts, because we've been over there, you've been over there, everyone's been over there. So we know, innit? Yeah. Understand? So when you said it, it felt like you just disregarded man's work, because we've been quiet.
Let me say something now.
Let me talk. Man's a part of this bridge.
Hold on, wait.
Like, we're talking about this bridge. Man's been putting cement on this bridge.
Wait, I hear that. Wait. Do you know what, when you put it like that, I understand why it might have looked like that, innit, But I personally, like, I was saying it in the context of a conversation, but when I'm saying, look, I'm not saying it's you. I'm not saying that. If I say that, however the next person takes it, I can't help that, because I have stated that I'm not talking about these man, but in the context of a conversation, I always say this all the time. I'm like, you see, like, when
you don't need to talk about us though. Like I say, I'm not talking about.
No, but it's in the context though.
The title of the thing. While they're reading it, they can see.
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that. But I have said within that, I'm not talking about these man. But we're having a conversation. So in the context of that conversation, I'm bringing this particular thing up. But
so who else could you be talking about?
I'm just saying in general.
No, but listen. But who else then who's made a tune like, whoa.
If I genuinely felt that way, let me just tell you this, If I genuinely felt that way, I would have no problem telling you, bruv.
Hey.
I would have no problem telling you. That's why when, like, even though, because I spoke to Cosmic, innit, and when he's explaining certain things to me, I understand that maybe it's my naivety that makes me think, like, why would man think, like, I've clearly said whatever I've said. For years, when I've been debating, I've always just said how I feel. If a man gets upset about that, then a man gets upset about that. But that's just how I feel. If you ask me what I think about something, I'm just going to tell you whether it is right or wrong, or whether we agree, that's it.
As
So,
I said,
but my thing is, even if you think that I think that about you, man, if I did, I would blatantly tell, man, yeah, do you know what? I do. I said to Giggs, I had Giggs up here the other day, I didn't love 2 Chainz' verse. That's just my thing. What am I supposed to do?
That's not man's issue at all.
Okay, so
you saying like I
no,
don't.
but
I
the reason
don't,
why I'm bringing it up is because you're asking me if I'm not saying that like about you, then who am I talking about? But I'm counteracting that by saying if I felt that way, I'll tell you.
Said it.
I'll just say
Like,
that's how I said.
That
it.
wasn't even that issue. We're just talking about that.
Like general people that's watching it will interpret it like that. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
You didn't then go and tell them you're at. But obviously these men help build a bridge anyway. But then
That's
if
the
you're,
part that I missed out.
If you're trying to come in this thing, so
That's the part I missed out.
that you're not
That's
talking
the part I
about.
missed
us,
out.
you
The
understand?
perception of it does.
I
look
hear
like
that. That's the part I
It
missed
looks
out.
like Krept Konan, you're doing whoa. You're
Yeah.
fucking up this thing that we're doing. rah. But at the same time, when we don't waste my time, I don't think anybody knows. They said the same thing to us. This is American. What's this? Why are you not going in? Where's the bars? This is trap. You lot are trying to be like them. Rah. And then now it's a hit. So it's like man's always been the trailblazers in this thing. Like if you notice, like we're always trying to be the first. Not even like purposely. We're just trying to compete with ourselves and push ourselves to the next level and do something that we didn't do the last time and just try to outdo ourselves. And that's how we come across. So when we're making a song like whoa, it's not even a case of I want to sound like them, man. It's just what, like I say in every interview, it's like whatever the beat tells me to do, I do. So I'll just go in there and chat.
There's a contradictory in the element of what I'm probably about to say next year, because I personally, when I heard whoa, I didn't think of anything American. It was only until when I see people talking about it or people tweeting it or whatever it is.
That's what I'm trying to
where
say.
I'm like,
The influence came on.
So I'm like, right.
But that's
so
how people. That's how people are, bro.
Okay, so I hear that, but then
That's
you
why
got
our
you also
issue
got
is
to
with you.
understand. You got to understand, yeah. Like I've been doing a podcast for 3 years. Almost that, yeah. So like occasionally or all the time actually, when there's things going on or whatever, whether I agree with them or not, but we just have a conversation about it, innit? So when I've seen this, when I've seen it, I'm like, okay, cool. When we're here, we'll just have a conversation about it. Is that what it seems like? Poet was like, well, at the end of the day, if it's good, it's good. We had a conversation about it, and I'm always gonna do that. I can't help that, but I'm a man.
No, we just felt you could have made it.
Yeah, of course. Of course it is, bro.
Man knows that, innit? Like I'm not.
Of course it is, though. Of course it's clickbait.
Man knows it's clickbait, but at the same time, just do it correctly.
Yeah, if you're gonna get,
I thought that was correct.
If you're gonna get,
man,
it's not even the title that bothered me, because I know you need to draw people in, and this is the game. This is marketing. Man understands that. It's just when you're doing that, make sure you inform the people on the information of Krept Konan when you're talking about man
Do you know
as
what,
well, because so they don't get this thing twisted. Because a lot of people get this thing twisted and forget. Because a lot of people have tuned in to Krept Konan from probably Freak of the Week or tuned in from like later, whereas you've been around for how long and you know man's roots. So a lot of people don't. So when they're locking into this new grime scene that they think's just started, which it hasn't, they're like, oh, alright, cool, Chucky, Poet. They've been around, they're the voices, and then the first, probably maybe it might not be the first, but one of the interviews they see, maybe just joining the grime scene and seeing what's going on, is Krept Konan's Americanized. When you're doing music, we built this bridge, don't fuck it up like these, man. Like that's what it comes across as. So man saying, as you man know, man, and the work man's put in is like, make sure you fill them in as well, and don't leave them astray to have their mind to wander and think man's just
do you
idiots
feel
trying to be Yanks? You understand? And that's
do you
not
feel
even
that the
case.
work that you put in has been like dismissed and bypassed a little bit?
Yeah, we do, innit?
Especially when you do stuff like that, bro. Like that's it. Like do you know what I'm saying? If it was a case where you was like, yeah, but don't forget.
Okay, I hear that. Do you know what? That's the one thing I hold my hands
But
up
you
to,
didn't.
Like
you completely bypassed it.
I didn't
You left
say-
the
we
mad
didn't say-
title. Like, you just left man hanging, fam. Like it was mad. Like I was like,
So even if a man thought, I don't really feel this tune,
Yeah.
and I don't really get it at the time, and it's like, you say, it's Americanized. It's like you're sparking them to say, that's why I don't like it. Yeah, man. Fuck them, man.
So what you feel like we're giving them a reason?
more of because bro, like you got to remember, a lot of people move like in sheepish ways. So like I speak to people and they're like, I was reading some things. It's like, I think the tune's like, a bit Americanized. All right, okay. Do you like the tune though? Yeah, the tune's hard. So what are you complaining about? It's too American.
Well, you know what's so mad about that Americanized stuff, Krept? It's like,
no, but
I don't understand
a lot
what
of
is
people,
American about it. Because
you know what used to be? Okay, this is the thing, yeah. See,
and all I'm doing is repeating the hook and repeating the hook in the verse, and so I don't know what American.
Do you know what? When I was like proper thinking about it the other day, yeah, I remember back in the day, like one of the reasons why people might have mentioned the word Americanized actually didn't even have anything to do with accents. It had something to do with the polish of the beat, and I remember thinking that's kind of ridiculous because when you really check it,
it's too clean.
It's too clean. So
like
then
even the videos too clean. Like man's used to like videos that are just mad, quick, scatty, shitty.
That's what people put in the category of Americanized.
Yeah, like if something's too good, or obviously like. Sometimes man want to make an effort and make the video look sick, like to show man.
Yeah, actually made an effort on that one.
Like we're actually levels.
It got overlooked because of the fact of it was too clean. So it was like, oh, nah, man, that's too. Brother, man's driving around. I was driving around on a dual carriageway with a bally on, fam, with gal in the back holding up the whole of traffic while they're filming me out of a van, fam. It was mad what we was doing. We was shooting for like 2 days and that. Like we was going in, like so. It's just like it's annoying, and then you go online, you see American, like it's jarring, bro. I can't lie.
Do you know what though? I'm not gonna lie. I thought the title was great. I thought it worked. I'm not gonna lie, but I will hold my hands up and say, you know what? Yeah, we didn't elaborate more on what you had contributed into the thing, and I think that we was very vague on that. So I understand why you might feel like, right, you've had a conversation about one side of things, but you haven't
filled man in about the details. You get
I hear that, but you still might have been upset if I put Krept and Konan's Whoa Americanized, because the title is still clickbait. And occasionally, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Listen, I'll be very honest with you, Chucky. If that's what it said, I wouldn't care, bro.
Okay.
Because people have opinions, and some people think that. So, what do you mean to shoot your head? Because man's like, oh yeah, I think is it? I know it's clickbait.
You know what it is? People were saying shit in the comments, so you're gonna go off what the public's saying as well. Like, what
so I
it?
get that.
Even the
but
thing
don't
is,
say Krept Konan after everything man's done, brother.
But I'm good. The name's gonna be in your name's gonna be in the title for the name's gonna be in the title for the clarity though.
No, of course.
So it's gonna be in there.
You know, the title wasn't even bothering me. I know it's clickbait. Like man,
yeah, of course. We've always done that. We've always
how you was addressing things, and I was thinking, alright, cool, I hear you on that, but brother, I beg you tell them about that because. They're gonna forget that because they always forget, innit? Like they always forget.
Yeah.
You get me?
But why would I don't understand why you would think because of that man don't rate you? That's just
no. Because I thought no. You know what it is?
And I don't even chat like
because you overlook because of that whole the bridge.
I thought like Chucky don't rate man.
Okay.
When I got to that part, I said Chucky don't rate man.
That bit there.
Chucky doesn't.
Oh yeah, we built
serious.
Why would you
but man, say, do you know what?
That's crazy.
You see me? Let me tell you something. I don't even say hello to man. I don't even chat.
Moment in this bridge, like.
Yeah,
man was like, come on,
man's
man.
been moments.
Talk on that.
Man, no, but like,
man's been moments, bro. Like all this, like you should, like we know, like the independent thing, like we kickstarted it with the tape.
Remember before the tape, how the thing was. The thing was you needed a single, and your single needed to sound a certain way to go on radio to get your single, and then option to an album. Like that was the formula for everyone, bro. Everyone was doing that. Like how much artists was getting signed, dropped. Sign, drop, because everyone was trying to make a hit record rather than focus on their fan base and their fans. And then when we decided to do that with the Young Kings, and we said, you know, fuck the radio thing, they're not like fuck the TV, fuck all of this. Like man's gonna do this ourselves, literally. Like no one helped, man, bro. We done it. We done the independent thing. All the labels we charted top 20. Like we all was hired in a lot of. Sign acts and whatnot, and man's on the tune saying if she ain't fucking, she got to go.
And they played it on Radio 1. They was playing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like opening the tune, like she ain't fucking, she gotta go.
And man feels like, bro, like we was the ones that changed. I remember we had a studio session with Skepta, and he was like, bro, like yeah, like I think he said he was with he was in New York, and then like they was looking at that video like raw, like. Swear down, you get me?
Gangs over there.
It's proper over there. They didn't know, fam. You get what I'm trying to say? And man was the reason why a lot of people from over there started looking, like Wiz Khalifa and all these kind of people was like, I didn't know. Like Rick Ross, I didn't even know that it was like this over here. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that song was a big part of that, as well as the project, the Young Kings thing, which then open the doors for labels to be like, there's something going on in this scene. Because before that, you think you could be getting signed off of mixtapes and all that before that. And charting, no one was even. Everyone was trying to do the single thing, and man just completely changed the dynamics of how everything is. And then after us, like how much people now have done that, like come with their projects independent, and then the independent thing was the thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But people just have overlooked.
Why do you think that is though? Because the thing is,
I think because probably it just happens. That's just
the
life.
thing is, I don't even think that like in the law of averages, I don't even think that it is even comparable the amount of people that might overlook it to the people that do. I just think that the people that overlook it are the ones who talk the loudest. That's it.
Yes,
so you might think,
maybe.
that there's bare people that don't, that do overlook it, but that's a small percentage of people that might think that way compared to the people that do.
It's true, and the ones that say that is the ones that we might hear.
You know, it's from my point of view. It's like when I'm watching like all the blogs and I'm watching all the stuffs. Like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just going mad or whatever. But when I look at it, it wasn't as noisy as when other people do it than when we was doing it. It's very quiet. It was less loud when it didn't stretch as much. Like no one wasn't really celebrating it as much. When we did it, when we do stuff, it doesn't really get as much. It's like and then it's like over. It feels like that to me. I don't know. I watch it.
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds a tad bit ungrateful though.
No, not.
Do you know why? Because you gotta think. Yeah, look at what you've look like. It takes a lot of people to be able to achieve what it is that you've achieved. Innit?
Yeah, I hear that.
So when you actually look at it like from that perspective, there's a lot of people that are clearly behind you. It's just a small percentage of people that just constantly like to live. Yeah? And now because of social media, you know what people are like.
Of course.
They love to just constantly keep tweeting and keep commenting and keep.
You know what it is, man? You know what it is? Maybe you're right. You know what it is? Man sees the negative because it's so louder than people that like rate you. So man will probably see man and they'll say, "Yo, you man done well." But then when I go on the net's where where everyone sees, and those are the most negative.
Then we see the blogs from Chuck.
Yeah, no. See, this is the thing.
Yeah, like,
you know what? I'm getting to this
stuff.
You're setting me up for my next thing. Because I'm thinking.
Because when man's done other stuff, let me be honest. When man's done other little interviews or whatever, people don't send it to me. It's when it's, these men are dissing you. I see it.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? So it comes across.
Why is that though? Why don't man just send you the positive? Okay, why don't man just send you the positive stuff? And this is the thing. Wait,
I think people thrive off negativity.
This sets me to the next thing. This sets me to the next thing because a part of me feels like, even from what you're telling me, which is which I fully understand, and I definitely get it from your perspective too. But I think that it's an accumulation of why you feel that way towards what we did, as opposed to it just being that one thing. I think that because there's so much you feel that there's a small section of people that are screaming out some negativity. When you add that to what we've done, now you've taken that in a even more type of way. Maybe. Because of, and it's not even just that, it's a bunch of stuff.
No, I just think that like there's certain man that, you know, man them are all the tastemakers, innit? We're the ones that are gonna be shaping whatever comes from our scene. So I just felt like, if you're gonna do something like that, at least do it correctly and don't just leave man like looking nuts. Do you understand? Especially if you know what going, you've been there, you know what we've done. So when you've done an interview and just missed that out,
it's
like,
a conversation.
It's just that's what it is. Like it's not the fact of man saying, "Oh, this is what I feel," or did it. Like, bro, like people have opinions on everything, fam.
Yeah,
like, bro, someone said my story to man was too boring.
Really,
bro, my story, man. What man's talking about? Man's talking about mad things. Like, how you want man to do that on a club beat, fam?
No,
like,
of course.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
my
thing is, people are always going to chat about
people
everything or have an opinion. I know this, fam. Like,
but the man them that know the real thing shouldn't be a part of those people. Do you
yeah,
understand?
but we're always gonna have the conversation, though.
Yeah, no, but I'm not mad at that.
But I think that it was just the way that the conversation. I understand that. You know what? As I said before, I think that there was parts of that conversation where I could have interjected and just dropped a little bit of knowledge on the other side, because I do think that sometimes we do have a habit of indulging in one side of things and then not really going on the other side.
That's it, bro. Like, it's not. Don't think man's here like, don't chat man's name on anything.
I ain't gonna lie, Conan. You come in here a bit sour still. I'm not gonna lie. I was blaming it on the stomach.
I was tired. You get me? I just went for it. It was time to talk and that, and just let you know where man's coming from. It's not even like, obviously, you know what it is, we see a lot of little jarring things, you get me, like that just jar, man. Like from the, you know what it is, from our start of our career, we've always had like people always doing, or even with the oldest, on it fake the views, people having mad discussions.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Remember that? Yeah. And then man getting on MTV list, and then I remember radio, like radio, what was it? That MTV list, and Kojo and what's her name?
Jade.
Max.
Oh, Max.
Sorry. Arguing. Like, there's bare man on the list that arguing Krept Konan. Oh, they shouldn't be on this list. We've had that.
Yeah, people do discredit you a bit.
That's what I'm saying. We've had, for our whole career, we've always had people, like, getting at, man, like the people, the tastemakers, having an opinion, and then...
Do you reckon it's because...
And then it was only until man started doing, like, undeniable shit, then I felt like more people started being like, oh, shit, yeah, let's get behind. Do you understand?
So, like, man's got that chip on our shoulder still. So when it's still happening 2017, you're like, blood, like, man's done bad things now, man. Man. You get me? Like, you're still doubting the brothers, like.